Hey, Motorman here. I'm at Newport Richie Harley Davidson, and I'm about to take a 2025 Lowrider S out for a little ride. And here it is. Some of the changes for 2025. We got the 2-into-1 exhaust. We got riding modes and 117 high output motor. Nice color. Also new this year, you've got riding modes. Right now you've got a picture of a road, so I'm assuming that's the road mode or normal mode. Buttons right here change the modes. Sport mode and rain mode. In addition, you've got not just ABS, but cornering ABS, traction control, cornering traction control, of course cruise control. That's been standard on these for a couple of years now. They upped the price about $500, but for all you're getting used to be I think a $1,200 option to get the RDRS system, but that was on the touring bikes. It wasn't even available on the Softails, and of course it's standard equipment now. I'm in road mode right now. I'm going to move it to sport mode, and that makes the throttle response a little bit faster. Bikes are plenty fast. You got over 100 horsepower and lots of torque way down low. So if you're going to pass somebody and you're in 6th gear on the highway, you don't even have to downshift unless you want to. Let's talk a little bit about the styling of this motorcycle, and well, first the styling changes they've made this year. Of course, most obvious is the 2-into-1 exhaust. And in prior years, the wheels and the trim around the top of the cylinder heads was a bronze or copper color. This year they're black, and replacing the copper color on the cylinder heads is chrome. I kind of like the look. I still like the bronze wheels on my Lowrider S, but this looks fine. And to me, the styling of this bike, well, it goes back to 1977 when it was introduced. And back then, boy, this was really something. I think it was their most popular motorcycle, biggest in sales for about 3 or 4 years. And thankfully, the styling, as you can see, really hasn't changed very much in all that time. And I think that's a good thing. When you've got a classic style like you had on the 77 Lowrider, yeah, change it as little as possible. Everything is modernized, but for instance, the first one, 77, had 58 horsepower and a top speed of 86 miles an hour. You had nothing to brag about back then. Well, a lot has changed now. You got, I think it's about 100 horsepower on this bike, extreme amount of torque. I mean, it's torque right off of idle. If you put this bike in sport mode, and I don't care what gear you're in, you open the throttle, I mean, it flat takes off. This is a fast cruiser motorcycle. It's not a sport bike, but it is very fast for a cruiser. I know I own one, and this seems to be a little bit more responsive, especially when you put it in sport mode. Not that my 2023 is not responsive. In fact, it's the fastest of the Harleys that I have by far, but it's just you're surprised at first at how much power this bike has weighing in it. I think right around 700 pounds. When you're riding this motorcycle, it feels like a lightweight. Get into a turn and roll on the throttle. The bike handles just beautifully, and it's got a pretty good ride. It's on the firm side, but I never felt it bottoming out. And this short ride that I took here, no big deal, but I ride my own bike quite a bit, and it's got the same suspension, and it's kind of tough to get this bike to bottom out. You'd have to go on some seriously bad roads. So what you have here is a beautifully styled motorcycle with all the latest tech that you could possibly ask for. It's a lot of fun to ride. It's a versatile bike in that if you wanted to go touring on this bike, I set my bike up for touring. I put a Memphis Shades fairing on it and some hard saddlebags, quick release. And if I want to do a 500-mile day, no problem at all with this bike. You do get a little bit more vibration. You feel it mostly through the hand grips on this than you do on the touring models, but that's the same on all the Softail models because they've got 2 balance shafts, but the motors are not rubber mounted. But that's nothing to even think about. what bothers me is when you got like a four-cylinder Japanese bike, or really any of the four-cylinder bikes, you get a high frequency vibration, which tends to put your hands to sleep, and they start getting that tingling feeling after about 20 or 30 minutes on the bike. That generally doesn't happen for most people when you have low frequency vibration. But this is a highly refined motorcycle, beautiful handling. It rides really nice. There's nothing more that you could ask for in a cruiser motorcycle. You got power, performance, style, you name it, it's there. And yes, the price is high, and I know everybody's going to complain about, well, $20,000 for a motorcycle. I wouldn't pay that for any motorcycle, let alone this one. Well, I don't know why you even clicked on this. Would you think it was going to be $2,000? Come on. Harleys have always been expensive, and they'll always be expensive. But I appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and go down to Newport Richie, Harley Davidson, and they'll let anybody ride their bikes, especially if they know you're a buyer. They'll throw you those keys in an instant. So please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, comment below, and once again, thanks for watching.